Hey everyone, I'm here a few minutes early for Tainted Grail on the Malts and Meeples Twitch channel. We will be getting up and running playing the game at 7:30, but I thought I would just kind of do some of my normal introductory stuff here a little bit early, a little bit ahead of time. So, quick refresher as to what this game is. This is a big storytelling game based around Arthurian legends from Awaken Realms. This game, you are going and exploring various locations, trying to complete whatever the quests might be, and this also gives me a chance to double check that I'm up. And so, in our case right now, our goal is to find a way to light the menhir. So these menhir, and we have a few different sculpts, are basically giant statues that are somewhere I'm on here, maybe. Giant statues that are going to be helping you, or helping drive back the Wyrdness, this kind of thing that it is taking back over the lands of Avalon after Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table have been long gone. This is 500 years after they settle the lands, and even after the heroes from your town of Connacht Farmhold are already gone as well. You are the B team. So we are playing Erev, who was a farmer who had mercenary background. But because of something horrible, he is cursed and needs more magic to activate menhir. This game, I can reset this since we went through the night phase at the end of last time, allows you to kind of gain experience and level up your character as you go, as you play through the story. Right now we don't have a ton of things we can level up. In fact, we only have one experience point. We're 2 days in. I don't expect to have a ton. But we are looking for a way to light up these menhir, and yeah, we'll see how that goes for us. We're playing through Chapter 1 currently, and that seems to be the main quest for Chapter 1. At the start of every day, we flip an encounter, or event, so that's the first thing that I'll be doing here in a few minutes. A few minutes still. But if you are enjoying the streaming that I do, I also do a lot of writing about board games, anime, other things over on nerdologists.com. That is NERDOLIGISTS.com. I'm putting out between 5 and 7 articles every week, and that includes, I will share this video here I'm filming now, as well as the 10-minute Marvel podcast that I do, which is a very fast Marvel podcast. If you want to find out your Marvel news fast and have a quick little discussion, 10-minute Marvel, that's what I made it for. But I think we're getting close to starting time, so I'll probably launch into what I'm drinking today, because this is Malts and Meeples. So today's malt is Dragon's Tooth Stout from Elysian. I am a big fan of Elysian, in particular their Laser Tiger beer, also more commonly known as Dayglow. It's a very enjoyable IPA, and yeah, it has a tiger with metallic, hit the table there, metallic beams shooting out of its eyes. So I thought it'd be good to try one of their stouts. Bottoms up. It's dark, it's rich, and there is a hefty bitterness to it. Like it doesn't have a hoppy bitterness per se, though it is from the hops, but it almost has that dark chocolate, coffee sort of bitter punch to it that is very pronounced. I really enjoy that fact. I like a dark beer that isn't too sweet, and while this definitely is sweet, it has a nice counterpunch with the bitterness. So let's hop back into playing Tainted Grail. Where we left off was we had just wrapped up our second day, and we're going to be kicking off the third day with a random event. We are still looking for a way to light menhir, but once we find that, dense mist. Each exploration in locations without a settlement costs 1 additional energy. Oh, so it's going to cost us 2 energy. So thick you can barely see the tip of your nose. Leave that sitting up on top of the event pile that's sitting there. And we're going to start with some exploration. That is the meat of this game, and we have not yet explored this beautiful location. Island Asylum. The waves splash against the hull of the boat. A silent, hooded man slowly ferries you to a secluded island. Its dark willow grove overlooked on 3 sides by an ancient necropolis, carved into the sides of the mountain. You know the sick are kept in deep, dark holds, yet you still feel uneasy stepping down onto the shore. Grim monks, the keepers of this place, inspect your body despite your objections. Only then do they agree to listen to you. So we are going to read the main verse for 109. That is the location we are at. 109. I can choose from the following. Hire yourself as an assistant. Go to verse 1. Tour the island's monuments. Go to verse 4. Sneak to the forbidden depths of the asylum. Go to verse 5. Leave. We're going to sneak to the depths. So it tells me now to roll a die, and for every symbol in practicality and aggression, so 2, I get to add to my result. Of course, 2. A group of insane patients corner you in a dead-end corridor. Go to. This is actually a mystery. It's a puzzle you have to figure out by orienting these dials correctly to know then where to go. 3. 7. 3. 373. Three, 7, 3. Did I do that correct? Three. Three, one, three. Did not do it correct. 3-1-3. My guess is this is not going to be great for me. 3-1-3. Draw a vagabond gray encounter. If you win, draw the weird claimed gray encounter. So let's see. Vagabond. So, let's see what we can do here. Back into combat. Thankfully, I'm decent at combat, but not great. So, the target that we're looking for is 5. The Vagabond is also fast, so we'll have to read in the rules what that means. I'm assuming, or maybe it's on the combat card. Players can play a maximum of 2 combat cards per action. So normally you can chain more bonus actions together, but we cannot here. So I'm just going to play Defend, which gets a, I can put this up here actually. So I connect here, I connect there, but the big thing is that on the enemy's attack, which is happening now, I'm doing 0 damage to the enemy. The enemy is going to do 1 damage to me, but because I'm defending, I prevent 2 damage. Then, the end around, that goes away. I draw up to 3 cards, but that, when that disappears, tells me to draw an extra card. I hate to lose out on that, but 2 to 3 is not great because I need to get up to 4 is the trick. At 4 it just runs away. I have a final blow card but doesn't line up. I'm simply going to play Careful Planning, which allows me to draw an extra card because I matched up this symbol here. I'm not playing any additional cards, so at the end of combat, there's my combat card. I discard down to 3 cards. I have 4 currently. That one does me no good. I draw a card, and then because of that, I'm going to lose an additional energy and draw an additional card. That's a worthless card for me. That's annoying. I have a risky attack that requires me to have more aggression. I forgot to take the. No, I have not taken. Now I take a damage because I'm still doing the 0 damage to him. So we're looking for a way to double up to increase my damage. I guess I'm starting to get wailed on. I really don't want to get card 66 because I almost guarantee that means I'm going to be infected with this disease. So I need to come up with something that is going to get me up in damage. So first I'm going to line up that because that's 2 damage. And then I'm actually going to, I hate to do this, oh, I connect there, which allows me to get a 3rd damage. Can I, by connecting any symbols, get an additional 2 damage? And that would give me an additional 1, but I can't actually play that card. Because 2 damage would allow me then to... The tough part is I only have one option, and it's going to cost me another magic. Wait, I have 1, 2, 3. I can play a magic for 4, and I can take another one for 5 and beat him, or I could just let the guy run away. I don't get my loot of a craftable item though. I'm going to spend a magic to get 4. I'm not going to do anything more. I'm going to let him run away, simply because I know I have another combat in here that I'm going to have to deal with. And I really don't want to. In between combats, your combat deck resets. So I need to find a weird claimed. I really need some wealth right now. Because with that I could heal, because right now I'm not in great shape. Weird claimed. I'm trying not to... Oh boy. So let's look at this card. It is a 7. 0 to 2. Opportunity is, so loot is 1 magic. If I could chain stuff together here. 0 to 2 is lose a health, gain a terror. 3 to 5 is lose a health, gain 2 terror. 6 is lose a damage and lose your last card in line. Let's see what we got here. Time for some crazy chaining, ideally. I pulled off a pretty crappy combo. So this is going to cause me to lose a time. Oh man, I prefer that, but I don't have anything good there. Oh man, I am not getting anything. So I'm going to drop this in because it allows me to prevent damage and gain another additional card. Prevent 2 damage. So I'm going to prevent the damage. I'm going to gain a terror. I draw, and then because of the 2 abilities, I draw 2 more. Give me something here. So I'm going here. I connect up here as well as the bonus, so that is going to be 3 damage already on it. Then, I don't have the right combo there. So that just allows me to chain. I could lose a cube to draw 2 cards if I stop there. But instead of doing that, no, I'm doing that. This sucks. Because I at 3, so I lose a health, gain a madness, lose a damage when this time marker comes off. Sorry. I draw, I'm at 3, so I don't have to discard that, and draw 2 more. So I'm looking to do 5 damage this time. Like, that is key. I really can't take more hits, but let's do this. First card I can always play, and I connect 1, 2, 3, 4. So that takes us up to 6. 6 isn't terrible, but I think I'm going to be able to maybe finish this off. Yes. And then finally, I'm going to throw my weapon to deal 2 more damage, which is going to be enough to kill it, which then gives me a magic. And I didn't lose to either of them, thankfully. So, exploration ends. That used up all my time for the day. And that focus is so soft, I apologize. All my time for today. I really need to heal. I can gain food. But, so I'm going to end today. Normally I would go back up to 6 energy, basically. But I'm capped at 5. I'm almost to the point where I'm panicking. And I'm going to, next day, so at least exploration will no longer take 2. Good weather. Your first travel of the day costs 1 less energy. That's right, because I'm going here, traveling. I have to take a gray encounter. Man, Band of Highwaymen, an 8. Might as well shuffle and see what I can do. Because you can see how, if you get lucky, you can chain your combat together really well. Now, that requires me getting lucky. There's a chance that I will die this time, and that's kind of part of this game, is that it's a grim, dark world. You may not win. In fact, you probably will not win most of the time. So this allows me to draw a card. I lose an energy. Let's see. I'll play this as a bonus. This gives me a nice combo. They would do, on 0 to 3, they do 3 damage, of course. 0 to 1, they do 3 damage. I might just be better running away. But let's see what happens here. I prevent 2 of that, so it's only 1, thankfully. This comes off. I'm drawing a combat card to get up to 3, and then 2 more. So I'm going to do first risky attack. Nope, I don't want to do risky attack. We're going to do surprise attack, which allows me to get in 3 damage on them. Then I'm going to connect that with throw. And I would have taken in my arcane staff, so I'm throwing the arcane staff at them, but that allows me to do an additional 2 damage plus 2 more. So we're up to 7. If I can connect for an additional damage, I guess at 7 they just run away. And I don't actually have a way to connect for additional damage. So they run away. I get nothing from them, except for the fact that I'm not dead. This game, like I'm still figuring out the combat, and thus far I have to say it is pretty brutal. I really like the combat. I like the way you can combo things together. I could go to a few different spots here. I want to spend a move action to go there, spend an action and go down here. I could exhaust myself, and just so you know what exhausted does, I would restore to 4 energy instead. And I'm going to exhaust myself because right now my energy cap is at 4. So there's no reason for me not to push. Are there other bad things that can happen because of end of day being exhausted? And I forgot to spend a food. So in place without a settlement, I could spend 2 to gain a food. We'll not do that right now. And I didn't read this nightmare again, or this again, because we already know what it is. Oh, I forgot to spend a food. I'm not actually going to search, because what happens is my health goes up, my terror goes down. So now I'm going to go to night again. My health goes up, my terror goes down, I gain my energy back, and we're at 105, so I need to find the dream at location 105. An army of men formed a defensive line with their backs toward the sea. A last desperate stand, but the 4 dwellers did not attack. Instead, they sent giants to do their dirty work. As the Titans began to advance, the men cowered behind their shields and horses panicked. Only Arthur held his ground. He knew the giants would come. He counted on it. Alone, he marched out to meet them, stretching his arms wide. Half an hour later, the giants bent their knees before the human king and drove their weapons deep into the hill, vowing to never take them up again against humans. Each character who has this dream loses one terror. So I'm actually basically back to where I was to start. So I could get a craftable item, but I don't want to do that. I'm going to start my day, I'm going to spend an energy to explore this location. So, a little flavor text for it. Sensing their own end, four dwellers ordered giants to push humans into the sea. But the giants abandoned their weapons here. You rest a while in the shade of the titanic swords, their rusty smell causing your nose to tingle. 100 yards away, an elder smith toils, chipping at the jagged edge of the giant weapon. The hammer he uses breaks apart the ancient steel. The hammer he uses to break apart the ancient steel seems very strange. So does the sound it makes. So we're going to 105. So I could attempt to climb. I could talk to the smith. I could rest, or I could leave. Let's try to climb. So I could use try to climb with strength or agility. Study the sword's surface to find the best approach and climb slowly. Or I could prepare ropes and climbing hooks and proceed with extreme caution. Requires one or more caution. Be 2. Roll the die, add 5, plus 1 for each health I have. I'm going to spend an energy to study it and hope that I roll better. I get to add in 2 plus 6, so 8, 12. You slip several times, cutting yourself on the sharp edges before you reach the top. Each party member loses 1 health. Not ideal. If there's no quest token on the location, go to verse 14. If there is, go to verse 6. Sweaty and tired, you're now at the narrow niche that was once the sword's fuller. There you rest for a while, feasting your eyes on the wide open vista of the island. From here you can see there are 2 more menhirs near Connacht. One sits hidden between the mist-covered mounds of the Four Dwellers, another in the hills near the cursed town known as Wyrdness. Put a quest token to represent your progress. On the location card, if you have no energy left, you're too exhausted to go up or down, and the sun is setting, go to verse 15. So I could go further up, or end. I'm going to go further up. That then takes me back, and I'm going to spend the 2 energy this time, because that's 5 plus 5, so 10, 15. A perfect climb. If there's no quest, go to 14. If there is, remove the quest token and go to 6. Ooh, we have another one of these. 4. 2. 427. Double check. Looks right. 427. Lots of reading. This is a lot of fun. You did it. You pull yourself onto the sword's crossguard, as wide as a moat. Startled seabirds watch from their nests. You stretch your arm wide as if to embrace the entire island. From here, you can see incredible faraway places. The pale, smooth walls of the four-dweller fortress to the northwest, the castle of Camelot, far along the eastern shore, the reflective surface of the Mere Lake directly to the north, and the scattered druid moonring behind it. Then you discover that many parts of the sword's crossguard and pommel are still covered in gold. If you don't have Part 1 of Hidden Treasure status, each party member gains 1 experience, yes, but more importantly, 2 wealth, it's great, and Part 1 of the Hidden Explorer status. So somewhere up here, I have a writing utensil. Said writing utensil, Hidden Treasures 1. There. So this is 1 of 8. We have Scrounger and Fate of the Expedition. Exploration ends. We remove this quest token off there. And, oh boy, I have no food. So I'm going to be exhausted. I'd love to heal. Since I'm going to be exhausted and we're not at a settlement, I'm going to spend 2 energy to gain a food. Then I have food to spend, so I only go up to 4 energy, but I do gain my health back. And we're going to start kind of moving slowly back somewhere. I forgot to flip. Encounter. New threat. Lowest numbered location is 102. So basically we are drawing until we meet a guardian. Guardian keyword. I'm assuming that there's one available at this point in time. It says from the Graying Encounter deck. We will see if there is one with the Guardian keyword. There is not in here, so from what I can tell, nothing would happen with that. However, we are eating up time. I've forgotten 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, 7, 6, 5, 4. We are running out of time fast. Oh, I should have a new location out. And of course, that is the only thing that I didn't bother pulling out of the box was the location cards. Good job, me. Grubwood. So I'm trying to remember from that original dream where it recommended that we go. Because thinking about it, like I think the Charred Conclave is one, I think the Island Asylum is another, and then possibly up here there's the Mirror Lake, which might be the last one. So I'm going to try and make it to Mirror Lake. Okay, first things first. Wandering Beast. Draw cards from the green until we encounter a Guardian. First encounter is not a Guardian. Second one is not a Guardian. Guardian, nope. Horde, not a Guardian. And let me double check. Not a Guardian. Not a Guardian. Not a Guardian. We have a Weird Bear. And it's going to go on here. Takes 8 damage to kill, and it's where I wanted to go. So I'm going to go over here instead. Oh, that doesn't connect. So technically I know that before I go. There's a chance I can beat that. I should probably spend 2 energy to get a food. Being exhausted messes you up big time. Do I spend the 2 energy to get food? If I beat this, I get 2 food. I'm going for it. So 1 takes me there. 2 energy takes me there. We are fighting the Weird Bear. It is tough. So 0 to 1, you take 3 damage. 2, lose 2 cubes. 3 to 5, 2 damage and lose a cube. 6, lose 3 cubes. 7, lose 4 health. This is not going to be good. Especially with what I've pulled thus far. I'm not going to I need to look up what happens when I want to leave a combat. technically, because I'm here, I believe that we do get to see 106. For Dweller Mound. There's a menhir at that location as well. Let's look up this real quick. Combat. Runaway, 14. Runaway. Characters are not the only ones who may flee combat. Some creatures have a special, some it's flee. Let's try flee. That seemed escaping combat, spend one and then take the opportunity attack. Then place the encounter card at the bottom of the deck and reshuffle the combat deck and set it aside. Yep, that's going to be worth it. So I'm going to flee, take a damage, reshuffle, and let's see what we have here. 2 energy, gain 2 food, draw a green encounter. So I need 2 food. What I drew for combat, I had nothing that was going to allow me to chain. So I was going to be able to play a single card. Then if I got lucky, I draw a right card that would allow me to play a single card plus that card. And then if I got lucky, I would be able to do that one more time and basically be out of cards at that point. So that was a horrible setup for that, and we are going to fight a little vermin. So not much here, we're just looking to not be taking much damage. So I'd love to get us to 3 damage first time around. Surprise attack. 1, 2, 3. The reason I wanted to get that high, and I don't have anything I can chain with, is that this just causes me to lose one of those. I can draw a combat card. I'm going to play this, which is... I don't have to play that. Well, I want to play that simply because I want to do this. I'm going to play that. That allows me to play a bonus card. Or set it up so I can do Final Blow. But I don't want to do Final Blow because that's risky. I guess the enemy doesn't activate. I'm just going to do this because that gets me 4 damage right there and takes him out. I could have played this immediately to get 3, but it is a risky attack. Probably don't need to put this guy into my deck. I gain a food from that. So I'm up to 3 food. We're hitting night. which means I have to spend a food. I only go up to 4 there, but my health bumps back up by 1. We're going to tick down the menhir to 3. That is way too damn low. I'm not even going to explore the Hunter's Grove. I don't know where to find that I know that there's one here. I know there's one here. And I feel like it's going to be at the four dweller mounds. So I'm going to need to explore. There is a dream at my location, so I still am getting dreams, not nightmares. That's good. 102. If you have part 2 of the morning song status, your sleep is dreamless tonight. Otherwise, read on. You drift off under the ochre-painted constellation into a restless sleep where you chase a young dove in the hills just outside of Connacht. You wake early in the morning in a cold sweat with several fresh cuts. The taste of blood fills your mouth. Beside you, raw pieces of meat lay carefully wrapped in leaves. If you don't have the Hunter's Mark status, each character in this location gains 2 food, then gains the Hunter Mark status. I should have come here first. If I have to play this again, this will be the first spot I go. Because the Hunter's Mark status, I don't know what that means, but I'm at 4 food currently. So, let's start today. I move 1 here. I'm going to spend 1 to explore this location. I don't have that, so let's continue. The mist-covered mounds resonate with the sound of spades and pickaxes. Once only insane treasure hunters worked here. But as more and more gold emerged from under the earth, these burial grounds turned into a regular mine. Or at least almost regular. People still disappear or go mad here on occasion. So it just tells us to go straight into the book. There's also a menhir there that we would be able to light if we knew how to light menhir. And we had the proper things for it. Wander inside the mounds, verse 1. Chat with miners, verse 2. Exploration ends. Exploration ends. We're going to wander. No one was ever able to count the mounds, and most experienced miners claim new ones keep arriving, though no one can explain how. How far do you wander? Stick to a place where the miners work, roll a die, check on verse 8. Go beyond the currently explored part, roll a die, add +1 for each courage. Spend time. Walk and don't stop until you find something interesting. I'm going to pay... Well, I'm already down on energy. I'm going to pay the 2. We are going to be exhausted yet again. It's a horrible cycle. 3, 5, 6... You reach the heart of the mounds and stop, awestruck. Go to verse 3. A burial mound taller than all others emerges from the mist in front of you. Its front gate betraying the same shrine as all old steel items. Same shine. You feel uneasy. This is not a good place for a mortal to be. Dig into the mound. Verse 9. Old Steel Smasher. Verse 10. Do not have that status or 2 aggression. And we're going to dig into the mound. Verse 9. Make sure I can do that, yes. After a minute of exhausting work, you hear a chilling sound close by. Your labor has attracted something you'd rather avoid. Each party member gains 1 wealth and draw a purple encounter. So that the advantages were still in the initial encounters. We'll draw 2 and pick the one with a higher value. So we're going to have to go with the weird claimed here, which is a 7. Have a little room to play with this guy. We are really running out of time fast, though. The tricky part here is that we need to figure out how to light the menhir. I was hoping that I'd be able to do that here. If I could somehow gain an additional 2 experience, I could get enough aggression to break in. But I think this would be better if I came back here if I was playing with Bayor. He automatically, I believe, starts with 2 aggression. Alright, let's see what we have. Oof. We had nothing to deal any damage. Nothing. So we're just going to play that to defend. It causes me to gain a terror, but I don't take any damage. I get to draw a card, and then I get to draw an additional card. I'm going to play this one. Find weakness. The reason being is that I connect there, which allows me to draw 2 cards. Of course, doesn't actually give me anything that's all that helpful. But I'm going to chain this in. I would have to spend a magic to do so. I'm going to gain a magic if I can beat him. I'm not even going to do that. I am just going to run away. I take 1 damage. But the issue is, I was not pulling any damage cards there. Like except for surprise attack, which is great for damage. However, nothing chained. Or I got it too late. So I drew this one. I would have taken an attack, gone up in terror, everything. Oh, that was a mess. So I'll spend that, go back up to 4 there, go up there. I don't know where to go next. So let's see. We have a dream in 106. There are no dreams in this place. The sleep is as cold as and silent as the mountains themselves. So, we're down to 2. We basically have very, 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 very little time left to figure this out. So they do a good job of balancing this for one player or more players, because you have to meet up at a menhir to light it, but otherwise you can explore by yourself, and if you split up, obviously you can cover more ground. Like, I haven't hit the grubwood and I haven't hit Hunter's Grove. Now, I haven't gone to Whitening yet. I should say I've only done 5 of the 9 I can see. So, I don't think the Whitening is going to give me anything useful. There's a menhir there. If they knew how to light the menhir, they would have done it already. I don't think additional exploration here is going to help me as well, because I think I need to get into the mound to do that. So if that place is out, this place is out. I think I have to go back here, which means 1, 2. The reason I'm only doing 2 is I know I'm going to have a fine dream here, spend my food, gain back a health, and I'm fully powered up, which is great because this is day 1. So the nice thing is, at the end of day 1, you remove, or at the beginning of the next day, you remove the token. The following day is the day that you, and I need to do a gray encounter here first. Of course, it's a weird claimed. One damage. I'd love to get the magic from him, but we'll see what we draw. I gain some terror, but I'm fine on the terror track. Health, I can take a hit, 2 hits actually, and be fine. So we'll see what happens here. So I'm going to play this for 2 damage on it, and then I'm going to chain this one in, covering up the previous thing, simply because this allows me to kind of reset. And so while I take a damage and a terror, I then get to draw a card and hope that I chain some better stuff together here. So this is a risky attack. I'm going to gain an additional card. I'm dealing an additional 2 damage. And I'm going to connect. Oh, that doesn't connect at all. So that's it I can do. So I have to take one of these Grail coins. Let's see how well I can do this. it's skull side, so I take an additional 2 damage, so I'm taking 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. And 2 terror, so I am panicking. Which means I have to look up what panicking does. Panicking. Panic. Instead of playing a card from your hand, in step 2, play the top card, and then you can play additional cards as normal. So, I don't know what I'm going to do to start. Whole bunch of nothing. Hold guard. You decide what the enemy does. Drop that connection in. Draw a card. And then drop that in. So you add 2 more damage. Get up to 6. Then I lose that, and I lose this because of the enemy's attack. It says lose 1 red cube and lose the last card. Then defend. So, no more damage. Can't play this card. However, this prevents 2 damage, so I would take 1 damage. Now I'm getting 2 terror. This is a horrible position to be in. This is really stupid. I'm going to draw an additional card. Right now I'm in it for the long run. Like there's nothing I can really do to get out of this. So I flip here, and 1, 2, 3 damage. I don't even need to play an additional card, which is good because I couldn't. And I have defeated this for an additional magic. I do not know if that was worth it. I'm at 3 magic. My energy would be... I think it's capped at hitting that. I'm going to be panicking in anything I do. I'm going to spend to move there. I'm going to spend 1, spend a wealth, gain 3 health back. 1, 2. I am no longer panicking. I could even spend another 1 to gain an additional health, but I'm not going to. We're diving back in to 109. We gotta find... We just desperately need to find the rights or something. Tour the island's monuments. Screw it. Let's do that. I'm going to spend an energy to tour. Again, it's one of these puzzles. Hopefully this is something good for us. 1, 6, 1. 161. You take a walk along the shore of the island. Soon you lose sight of the mainland and enter a narrow beach in the shade of a tall cliff. You have come to the farthest point of the known world. Before you stretches the silent ocean humans crossed 400 years ago, running from the Black Death. There's a stone here. Its inscription almost entirely washed away by the wind. Astonished, you discover the writing claims to be the place where Arthur, the first king, came ashore with his followers. The relief depicts this very scene. You look at the retinue of the knights and advisors around Arthur, and suddenly feel like the butt of an elaborate joke. The person to the right of the king looks almost exactly like you. The discovery is so unsettling, you fail to hear a group of bandaged asylum inhabitants sneaking up on you. Are we going to be doing this again? Seriously? 313. Vagabond. And then Weird Claimed. Let's find them. Weird Claimed and Vagabond. Alright, you stupid vagabond. I got you this time. 4, I get a craftable item from this. We got this. I'm healthier than last time. 1, 2, plus I draw a card. I am 3 short. Nope, can't chain that. Or that. Oh no, I can not chain that. Chain that one in. I'm going to toss a dial. See how it goes this time. So we're at 2. Gain an additional 2. At 4, the vagabond runs away. Don't take any damage from that encounter. Whoop. So let's reset for the weird child. I'm at 3 magic. I can spend a magic for sure. At least this is not costing me any additional energy to do this. Oh man. Draw a card. Play this as a bonus. It allows me to pick which attack I want. I want the 6 here, because that one causes them to lose a cube and makes me discard the last card. I'm going to be discarding this card anyways. So I get a draw. And a surprise attack. I can draw, or if that card is not covered, I draw a card. I'm dealing 1, 2 damage because I'm going to spend a magic. I'm going to chain that together with another magic. I don't love doing this. And I'm going to drop that into play, get 2 more damage. So we're at 4. I lose a health. Oh, and gain 2 terror. So I draw a card. I'm going insane at this point in time. Let me double check. I think these are all the same. When I rest, I no longer gain any health. I have nightmares. not dreams. And when you travel or explore, toss a dial, skull, lose action. Oh, this is going to be great. Let's see what we flip here. Something good, please. Defend, I can prevent 2 damage. More insanity doesn't cause me to go more insane. I have a single card here. Nah, we'll leave that time marker there. So, I defend 2 damage, I'm only taking 1. I would go up 2 on the insanity track, don't have that. I get to draw 2 cards, this is why I'm mainly fine with it. We get to flip this. Draw a card. Connect here, defending, not going to pay the magic cost for that. Then going to throw, because I connect here for 1, and that for an additional 2, gets me up to 7, which is enough to kill it and gain a magic back. That was probably not worth it. I will stop going insane, to my knowledge. Let me double check the rules on going insane here. But to my knowledge, I will stop going insane once I Insanity, page 13. If you reach the top 2 red colored slots of the track, attach the You Are Going Insane card to your character tray and follow its instructions. So I guess it doesn't really seem like it goes away, which sucks. I don't really want to be going insane through the whole time here, especially since I need to spend an energy to explore again. Waiting for that to happen. Rail side up. So, nothing happens. I'm going to explore. We're at 109, correct? I really think we're going to be restarting here. I'm going to try and sneak. Verse 5. Roll a die, add +1, so I'm adding +2, 4, some pre-sketchy sneaking in the sick halls. They cannot let you leave the island now. Go to verse 6. You're now a prisoner of the asylum, spending your days listening to the agony of others and wondering when your time will come. You hear your inmates that over the years some brave souls have managed to escape this hold. The real question is, should you do the same and carry the plague further? Gain card 666. Place character models of all party members below the asylum location. Yeah, we're going to gain 666 here. Red sign. That seems like it's going to suck. Try and escape. Each party member gains a terror. Roll and check results. Let's try it. 2. basically allows us to repeat your plan dies in its infancy, allows us, it ends the day, allows us to repeat. At this point in time, I'm going to admit that I probably will not be able to actually complete this, even though we have a little bit of time. And I forgot to flip this. That made a difference. This would have given me one more movement, which would have given me one more action, which would not have actually made a difference in this case. So, we are at the point where I am super dead here. This is a tough game. I love it. So, what you'll find out while watching me play games like this is that, and I'm going to just, I guess, Death and Mercy chapter of the rulebook. I'm assuming that is at towards the end here. Maybe it says we have. It says, see the Death and Mercy chapter of the rulebook for more information. So somewhere in here we must have Death and Mercy. I don't see it as a chapter, so let's scan quickly here. All Mother's Mercy. I think that's what they really mean here. You and your party perish. And if you and your party perish and do not wish to start again, you may decide that the intervention of the All-Mother herself saved you. In this case, mark Saved by the Goddess on your save sheet. Go to verse 500. This will restart you at the beginning of the chapter with some predefined resources and let you continue the game. So I'm not going to do that. This was definitely a first real learning experience for playing the game, and I'm going to leave it generally set up, but I will then kind of restart and reset with this character just because I have an idea. Or maybe I'll switch characters. Maybe I'll switch to like Maggot, simply because I'm quite confident. Well, I'm quite confident with Beor. I can get to here. With Maggot, I can get to here. And I mean, some of it was just unfortunate rolling there. Had I stuck there and tried and gotten my roll of 5. Or I think even a 4, because that would have gotten me to a 6 or 7, that would have allowed me to probably progress at that point. It would have hit a different part of that chapter. I can also do, and this is fairly common, what people do is they track, like, okay, what was the board state at the end of the last save point? So like, at the end of my first video, I can go back to that point and restart from there if I so desired. I might do that, but I don't think I will. I think I'm going to kind of restart now that I know what I'm doing a little bit more. Somehow I keep on ending up with a random card over there. And try again from the beginning. Try with a different character. The fact that I know where Maggot can go and the fact I know where Beor can go kind of makes me not want to use either of them to try and kind of progress the story in a different way. But yeah, we'll see. I could even play with 2 characters. The trick with 2 characters, obviously, is I have to remember which character is doing what, as well as when lighting a menhir or anything like that. It requires more, and it requires both party members to be there. So we'll see what I decide to do, but I'm really excited to dive back into this. I was hoping to play last Thursday, didn't work out. My plan will be, for at least a little while, to continue playing every Thursday. And this has just been a ton of fun, even losing. And I'm actually pretty surprised that it was the menhir that took me out, not the... I guess technically I do have one more round that I can go. I'm going to forego that. I'm going to do the right thing, in quotes, and give up at that point, but yeah, this is going to be interesting. I think this is going to be in for the long haul in terms of this game. Like, I've obviously been talking through a bunch of my stuff. I kind of did a little bit of a kickoff to this stream, and I did character selection last time, but probably has been playing for a total of an hour and a half now. And yeah, it's been it's been interesting, it's been enjoyable, so good time, good game, and yeah, if you're someone who has been on the fence about this game, it's definitely, if you can get your hands on it, this is a really well done game. Really nice production value. I'll probably be doing a tabletop takes on nerdologist.com for it soon, though that might go an additional week just so that I can play once more with a different character. Because I feel like I understand the basics of the game and the story, so I'm going to be able to talk about it in more than just a first impressions manner. So with that, I'm going to wrap up for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see if there's anything I can do for the focus on the video camera. Hopefully there will be something I can do to make it a little bit sharper, better lighting, something like that. It's winter in Minnesota, so there you can see there's no light behind me. But I will see you next time.